there was a period where I first came back from my class with him, and I was like, all right, let's get started. Let's make some money. And I managed to go. I had about between 40 and 50 trades in a row. I was losing consecutively, where I couldn't even get a winner. There's the saying that blind squirrel will find a nut eventually, and I didn't.
Hey, welcome back, traders. Today we got podcast from the pod, episode number 2, with member Ty Robbie. Ty, thanks so much for joining us today. I know it's been some struggles here with trying to record and trying to get some this together for us, but thanks so much for joining today, man.
Yeah, no worries. I'm glad to be here and looking forward to it. Thanks for having
Well, let's just dive straight in, man. Tell me a little bit about how
me.
you got into trading and kind of your journey so far.
Yeah, so my journey started back about 5, 6 years ago. I first got my foot in the door, so to speak, in the live cattle and grain markets. I'm from Montana, and my family runs a cattle marketing business, and so they had some exposure to fat cattle, feeder cattle prices, and so my dad did some trading on the live cattle futures, feeder cattle futures, as well as some involvement in the grain markets as well, but mostly trading cattle. So that was where I got started, and mostly was just no real strategy. We did a lot of hedging and stuff like that, but there was definitely some speculation as well. A lot of just kind of longer term buy and hold situations, that no real system, no real risk management, nothing like that. And so definitely had some successes, but definitely learned a lot of the lessons the hard way, and kind of forced me into finding some real mentors, some real trading strategies that got to learn a few different methods, and kind of over the years developed my own. And so I've worked my way into trading gold, oil, and the S&P futures as well.
Cool, man. So, I think most traders when they start out, they are in that stage or go in and they hear buy low, sell high, and kind of really just have that hopinism type of strategy where they're just hoping the price will go up whenever they buy it low or selling it at the absolute top. It's funny how that kind of just progresses because our everyday lives, when we're out shopping and we're always trying to look for a bargain, the market
Right.
the market doesn't operate like that all the time. And
No, absolutely not.
getting that mentality or having that mentality, well, it's too high, I'm not going to buy, as it's trending out, can be certainly detrimental to your trading. Well, that
Absolutely.
so you've moved on. You first start out, you don't have a strategy, you get humbled in the market, and then as we then go into stage kind of 2 with our trading, we all kind of look for somebody with some experience or some methods that work in the market, or we think work in the market. Tell me a little bit about what you found and what kind of mentor you had, or who your mentor was, or where you took your most of your trading ideas from.
Sure. Yeah. So my last year of school, I started looking online, just a lot of YouTube videos, lots of people on FinTwit trying to come up with something, come up with some sort of idea of how these markets work. And I came across a trading school that I took a couple classes from, just online courses, and then ended up getting to know a guy who traded in the pits, traded on the floor, the CME back starting in 1980. Bob Dunn was his name. He was just a floor trader. He was the guy who really molded my system, molded me into trading the system that I have today. Taken a lot of what he had done, kind of molded it to fit myself and my own personality. So I got a lot of my ideas from him. Just kind of taking some day trading type entries and day trading methods, and turning it into a bit of a swing trading process that I've kind of come up with on my own. So
Yeah, so in that stage 2, kind of where we then try to find a method, we then at some point realize what they're doing might not be what kind of fits us, but we certainly can take bits and pieces from what we learn from, a mentor, learn from a trading strategy and kind of just develop it into our own. At what point did
Right.
you realize, or what point did you kind of mold it where you're like, okay, I want to take what I've learned and kind of put my own little twist onto it?
Yeah, so I took a couple classes with Bob. He's an opening range trader type of guy. He would be trading just the opens. He'd be using anywhere from 12 to 15 ticks of risk. So he'd be using 2.5, 3 points on the S&P
Hmm.
to be getting into some of these positions real quick in and out. He wasn't afraid to cut it loose or hammer it when it was working well. And so, anyways, I kind of learned that method, saw how he was looking at the market, and I thought it couldn't be that hard. I can do this, and I started trading that way, and I learned real quickly that I wasn't built for that. I needed to change this into something that fit my personality. That high speed, quick in and out type of trading. I learned that I would get my heart racing. I couldn't keep up with it, so I started using some of his areas, kind of how he's reading the bigger picture charts, and kind of molding that into something that little wider risk, smaller sizes that I could kind of tolerate, less frequency. I was only taking a few trades a day on a busy day. So there was a period where I first came back from my class with him, and I was like, all right, let's get started. Let's make some money. And I managed to go. I had about between 40 and 50 trades in a row. I was losing consecutively, where I couldn't even get a winner. There's the saying that blind squirrel will find a nut eventually, and I didn't. There was a stretch there where I did nothing but lose for a long time. It was kind of a statistical anomaly, as I like to say. But so that told me real quickly that I wasn't built for that, and I needed to kind of switch things up, slow things down into something that I could handle. Mentally. So it took several months to get that done, but by the end of 2018, I had a system that I was pretty comfortable with and trusted in. I've been basically trading very similar since then. So
Yeah, I mean that's great for you to be able to kind of recognize, your own personality, your own trading style, and kind of pivot to what fits you and your personality. Because, we all can have, either we're high strung, or if we're high drive, if we're very active, we can be geared towards, that quick in and out, fast reaction. But if we're a little bit more analytical, I think you and Jack in the group are kind of similar, where you need some time to process and you don't let your emotions kind of get the best of you, and you can
right.
thoroughly see the trade in front of you. It kind of gives you a little bit more confidence, rather than, that high speed where you might be entering on your emotions rather than the setup itself.
Right. Yeah, those quick in and outs. If you're, I don't like to see a lot of those losses, even if they're real small losses stacking up. That's something that kind of kills my mentality, kind of kills my spirits, I guess. So need a little slower pace, something give the trade some room to work, and that's what helps me see a little bit clearer. So
I mean, that's a key part. I think, we all should be kind of just aware of our personalities, aware of our emotions. And if we can just
right.
recognize those emotions whenever we feel that they're going off, we're like, oh man, I feel some anxiety, or I feel some pain. What our brain will try to do, we'll try to avoid that pain. And it can lead us into, FOMOing into trades. It could lead us into over trading, because we want to get back. We want to get back to that equilibrium in our brain, in our emotions. And the brain sometimes can lead us down the wrong path. That's for sure. So
Right.
that's a never ending cycle that we all have to be aware of. And kudos to you for finding a method, finding what fits your personality, and then, working on that constantly. Now, when you then developed kind of your own system, your own methodology, kind of just go into a little bit of, what kind of troubles you were facing, or what kind of success were you finding. What was some key factors that you were trying to work on and build on during that period?
Yeah, so I found a method that I kind of developed a method that I really trusted, believed in. There's just those periods where we'd have good trending markets, and you'd start hitting some home runs. You'd catch some pretty good waves, and you kind of let that seep into your subconscious a little bit. Got into the next cycle of being a trader, and that's the boom and bust cycle, where you can really have some good swings, good runs where you're making a bunch of money, and then you get all excited and confident in yourself, and you start sizing up, and then all of a sudden those old problems come back, and whether it's the market conditions changing or you just getting a little too cocky. There's kind of a combination of that, to where I'd have these real nice runs, and then I'd start to chop myself up on the way back down. So I guess dealing with those swings was something that took me a while to come to grips with. And then once you realize that, maybe it's not, it's really easy to point the finger at the markets or the method or whatever. But once you start to realize that, it's actually what's between your ears that's holding you back, that was something that I was dealing with in 2019 through 2020. Had a lot of boom and busting, and so yeah, just trying to keep yourself level, and starting to implement things to take you out of the markets when you aren't seeing clearly, or when your head's not right. So that was the next step of trying to work. I was trying to work through. So, and I think it's something that we are always working with. So
Yeah, that's a never ending type of thing. What kind of
mhm.
methods or what kind of tools or methods are you kind of using to keep that in check, or how are you keeping that in check?
Yeah, so I know that going through a stretch of losses, just, I mean, like anyone, going through a stretch of losses is really detrimental to your headspace. And
Hmm.
so being able to understand how many shots you can take at a market before, it's like on a good trade, you should on a good trade idea, for that matter, you should be able to hit it right in the first couple swings at it. It shouldn't take you 5, 6 shots, in my opinion, in my personal experience. Shouldn't take you that many experience, or that shots, to find a successful trade. If it's not working in the first couple times, then the market's telling you something, that it's not quite working. So, and someone who takes pride in being right, I think we all experience these issues in our own way, but you wanna be proven right. You wanna be doing things the right way, and so you keep forcing the issue, thinking that you're right and the market's wrong. That was something that I had to come to grips with, and once I kind of learned that, I started implementing some just quantity of trades. You only take a couple shots at a market, and if it's not working that day, or give yourself so many attempts throughout a week. If it's not working, then clearly the market's telling you that your timing is wrong, or the idea is just not going to work out. So that was something that really helped me. Is cleaning up. It was really easy to have, not easy, but it's you can get on the right side of a market, and it'll work for you pretty well. But then usually you're digging yourself a hole by over trading it. So that was one thing that really helped me over the years, and something that I'm still working on.
Tell me a little bit. How did you come to the group, or what made you want to maybe kind of find a group setting with your trading?
Yeah, so I think we all experience a lot of these emotions, and some of these stumbling blocks, and you feel like you're the only one in the world going through these issues at times, especially when you're looking around on Twitter and you see everyone's happy to post the green
Yeah.
days and show you how
Yeah.
much better than you they are.
Yeah.
It's the highlight reel. So you kind of feel lonely. You kind of feel like you're the one being left behind. And anyways, I was on Twitter, and Lance Brightstein from SMB Capital had posted something about how at their prop firm, one of the biggest things that shortened the learning curve of their traders was kind of the group environment, that team atmosphere. And so he said he's experienced through talking with a lot of traders over the years that loneliness, and that trading by yourself is one of the biggest downfalls to getting started in this game. So and that really struck a chord with me. I felt like you can talk to your spouse, and I've got the best trader's wife in the world. She's always happy to talk through things, and she definitely understands a lot more than just your average Joe. But at the end of the day, unless you're someone else who's in the arena with you, they don't quite completely understand the issues. So just Lance put out a post about drop a comment, let us know what you're trading, let us know what you're looking at, how you're seeing the markets, get to know people. And I actually saw your comment and ended up messaging you, and it was a little over a year ago now, just at the beginning of the month, is when I messaged you and got joined into the group with you and Jack, and so that's how I got here.
Yeah, it's kind of, any type of career where there's a sense of camaraderie. So kind of, being in law enforcement, having that sense of camaraderie, you share your kind of experiences on your shifts, with your fellow coworkers. And it's the same sense with trading. We all have these emotional battles that sometimes our significant others might not be able to relate to. They certainly will support you, but they're just like, okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, you lost your shit while you're working today. Cool. um, but having that, somebody that actually has been through it with you, that it's kind of, also developing, going through the curve of these whirlwind of emotions with trading, seeing everybody else throw that success out there, but they're not vulnerable. They're not putting their shit out there for everybody else to see. And when we put that group together, we're sharing the highs and the lows. It's just not sharing, every day is a fucking happy glory day. It's not. And I think it keeps you, I think having that as well in the group kind of keeps you, your expectations, your kind of sense of reality together. Because if all you
Hmm.
do is you're out there by yourself, when I was, and I see everybody on Twitter freaking, posting these, $1 million trades, like, oh man, it's great. But, they're not posting
Hmm.
what they did the week before that. They're not posting what they did,
Hmm.
the week after that, because, there's emotional battles, and, certainly we all can just show our highs, but we have to deal with the lows too.
Yeah, sense of accountability and being able to come to the group together. It's not sharing ideas or anything like that necessarily, but just going through all the issues that we do face in our own way through our own lens. And having the accountability of it's easy to tell yourself when you're trading all by yourself that this isn't a big deal, or it's really easy to brush things under the rug. But when you
Yep.
have other people around you to hold you accountable, that's a huge help, and it helps clean up the back end of your trading.
100%. And, that's like I'd say that's almost an intermediate advanced stage in your trading career. Not saying that you can't do that when you first start out, but it takes like a series of lows, a series of, these boom and bust cycles for you to say, okay, I'm at AA. I admit I'm the one that's fucked up. Or
Yep.
I made a mistake. Or you have to take that accountability. And sometimes when we're out there by ourselves, it's easy to just say, well, it's the market's fault. It's not my
Hmm.
fault. But really, if you want to advance your trading, you have to first accept yourself and your errors and your weaknesses, and being aware of those weaknesses. You might not be able to get rid of them, but if you're at least aware of, okay, I have a tendency to FOMO, or I have a tendency to lose control, that can at least put that sense of awareness to you. And then whenever you feel that emotion coming through you, you're like, okay, let me step back for a minute. Let me walk away from the computer for a minute. Let me do some breathing exercise to get me back grounded to do that. But huge learning curve right there itself. But I also think that will
Exactly.
put the trading to the next level once we can first accept that we are our own, destination with trading. It's not the market. The market's not making us lose. It's us.
Hmm.
And you can go through that cycle too. You can go through that cycle of saying, well, I had this boom and bust. It's got to be my trading method. It's not me. So what you do is then you try to find the next best thing. You try to find the best holy grail indicator. You try to find the best trading method. Whether it be ICT and all this, these other
Hmm.
methods that you see on Twitter that kind of just run their cycle all the way through. Not
Yep.
knocking that, they're just methods, but they're popularized because us as traders, we bust and then we look for the next best thing, and then whatever's trending at that time is going to be the one to probably gravitate towards. And
Right.
that could be for years. You go through that cycle of, booming and
Yeah,
busting.
it's never ending for some people. Some people just never can quite accept reality or accept the situation, and so it can go on forever until it completely burns you out. So it's very important to be able to let things go and have that acceptance of, you need to understand what the true root of the issue is, and often at times it's your own it's yourself.
Right. I was probably in that. I definitely was in that category last year before me and Jack kind of met up. Where I'm just like, man, 2020, 2021, just crushing the markets. 2022 comes. I realized that I don't know what I'm doing, and then I think I went from November of 2021 to June of 2022 looking for the next best trading method, and going through that cycle of always looking and blaming kind of the market for my downfall rather than really admitting that I'm letting myself get the best of me. Am I letting my emotions get the best of me? We sometimes think logic applies to the market. We try to bring what we know in our day-to-day lives and bring it to the market with its theory and things like that. And the market is looking way forward in futures. And it doesn't
Yeah, I
operate
would
like that.
argue. Yeah, I'd argue all markets are. One thing that stuck with me from a guy I listened to quite a while ago is, the market doesn't care about what's going on today. All that's priced in. We know
Yep.
the market knows what's going on right now. What the market's looking at is what's happening 3 to 6 months down the road here, and so we're trading on stuff that we don't know is going to happen yet. So I do think that we had a pretty rangy market to start the year, and then throughout the summer we had, that real solid bull run that made everyone get pretty confident, and we ran up to 46, and I think that was just kind of a brief markup, and now we're just settling back into that range.
It was funny because we did a poll in the group, and we asked everybody. We had a little small, just a small poll, a small little side wager of what we thought the top was, and we saw a lot of a lot of bullish outlooks. And I'm not throwing anything under the bus or anything like that, but from doing other things and a contrarian outlook, once I saw everybody getting bullish, I was like, man, I think tonight time might, we might want to look to be a bit bearish. It was around that 4,600 mark too, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, no
obviously
kidding.
none of that is anything you can enter on. It's just speculation fun, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you're in the lead there at the moment. Say it all ended today. I think you've got the winning bet right now, huh?
we'll see if that holds up. So if your theory is true that we've hit our top, then I'll be
Yeah,
cashing that
I'm out of
in.
the. Yeah, I'm out of the contest by a long shot. So I don't even want to mention my number.
It's all fun. It's like, it was just I thought it was a fun thing to do. And Ty, man, I appreciate you sticking around and just talking a little bit, giving us a little bit about your background in trading, kind of hearing your success from where you had, no real strategy and kind of just hoping to finding a strategy to then, taking some beats, but you being able to recognize that, being able to recognize what fits your personality and kind of the emotions that you have whenever you're experiencing those drawdowns, certainly has catapulted your trading. So I appreciate you kind of sharing that with us, being a part of the group. Look forward to having you on the channel a couple more times this year, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it and happy to be on anytime. So thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. If any traders have any questions for Ty or anything like that about maybe the cattle market or crude, as we call Tiffany, who likes to go to Applebee's on happy hour, his YouTube is his YouTube channel. He starts kind of just gives a market outlook on the macro picture. Is at Tango Yankee 30, and you can find him at Twitter as well. Thanks so much, traders. See you on the next video.